always do.
Perfect. Okay, so we're recording, so we'll be able to share this call out. But you guys, I'm really excited. Jenny and I were talking about a team call and like what we could do, and I was like, I'd really love to have someone come in and talk to the team that we haven't heard from, right? We hear the same names and see the same faces a lot, like mine. You guys are like, please, if I have to hear from Cindy one more time. And the first person that came to my mind was Brittany. And I don't know if you guys know Brittany, but she is one of Jen's personally sponsored coaches. So I've known her for 3 years. We're coming up on our little 3-year anniversary of when we met. We met for the first time at one of Jen's Beach Diamond Retreat groups. And Brittany, I just fell in love with her. She is the sweetest person. She's super nice. She's a mommy. And she's just a lot of fun. And so she's been a coach for a little while now, and it was really cool. I've kind of been able to watch her journey. She's got a really great transformation, and now 2 of them because she's just had another baby. And, she just rank advanced to 2-star. Sometimes as coaches, we get a little discouraged because we think, everything should happen overnight. It doesn't always happen that way. So I thought Brittany would be a great person to have talk to you guys tonight. So I'm going to hand it over to her. We're going to talk about 3 different topics. She's going to give a quick intro just about her and her Beachbody journey. And then we'll go over the topics that we mentioned with you guys tonight. And then we'll open up for a little Q&A. So Brittany, it's all yours. Welcome.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. I'm like so honored. You have such an amazing team, and Jenny, oh my God, I'm so thank you guys. Well, okay, so you guys know my name's Brittany, and I have been a coach since January of 2014. I had my baby, my first son, in May of 2013, and I gained like 60 pounds, and I gained a lot of weight, and it wouldn't come off. I saw my coach, Jen. She had a mommy blog, and I connected with her through that. And I always tell this part of my story because it kind of relates to our customers. So I originally signed up in October, or not our customers, our potential coaches. I originally signed up of October of 2013. And I was so scared and it wasn't like my time. And I called an hour later and canceled. So sometimes we talk to people who are so nervous, and I have to get myself back in that point of when I called and canceled because I was terrified. But I kept thinking about it. And I saw Jen post a quote, some random quote in January of 2013. I was like, you know what? Like I've been thinking about it. Like, I'm just going to do it. What do I have to lose? So that's another thing that I always think about when I'm talking to potential coaches is kind of my journey, because sometimes we get in that mode, like the coach mode, and we forget what it's like to be signing up. So I started in January of 2014, and I rank advanced. It took me 6 months to get to Diamond, and I was so excited. I wasn't really doing much. It was kind of like a discount coach Diamond, but I was Diamond. So I was like, okay, whatever this means, I'm excited, whatever it means. So then in July, so the next month, I ranked advanced to 1-star, and I was like, I don't even know what that means, but it seems pretty easy because I'm moving on up. Well, after that, for the next year and a half, nothing happened. I did not rank advanced. My team was growing, and I was meeting people, and I was so excited, but nothing was happening, and I was kind of discouraged. You can understand, like, you get to this point very quickly, and nothing was happening. I was stuck. But was I stuck? Like, was I really stuck? No, because my team was growing, and I was making relationships and building a team, but I guess it just wasn't showing in the rank advance. Does that make sense? Is that kind of, okay. So I'm on the right path here. Okay. So during that, I did lose my weight. I did lose the baby weight. And I really just used Facebook as my accountability. I really documented every single thing that I did. And I connected with people with my journey because so many people were going through the same thing. Let's see. That's kind of me. Do you want me to get into the next? It's kind of like it kind of all flows.
No, I think it's great. And I had no idea that you had signed up as a coach and an hour later called and canceled. But I think that's important as coaches, some of us who have been coaches for a little longer, to remember how like nerve-wracking or scary or intimidating it can be to sign up as a coach. And then I love how, you know, we sometimes think that our rank defines our success. And I say over and over again, your rank does not define your success in this business. And consistency, like with you sharing your journey and what you're doing and sharing the opportunity with other people, when you're consistent in doing those things and being a product of the product, the other things do start to fall in place. And it might be a different time for, you know, each coach. So I love that you shared some of those imperfections that as people make.
Yeah.
However, they're perfectly perfect for you and your journey. So I think people need to keep that in mind sometimes. But I would love to have you go into talking about, you know, each kind of topic that we had talked about before. And we'll spend about 10 minutes on each topic. You know, Jenny, if you have anything to add in, you know, feel free to unmute and chime in on these topics as well. Because I know that they're ones that coaches are always asking about: messaging, inviting. How important are these free groups? And I know that for you, Brittany, free groups is one way that you really dug your heels in and started to grow that business. So I think we can run right into that.
Okay, that's my favorite thing to talk about is free groups. Let's see. Okay, so I was pregnant in February. Now we're going times. Like I'm trying to think of times. So February of 2015, I found out I was pregnant with my daughter. I didn't know she was a daughter at the time. I thought to myself, like, okay, so I'm pregnant. How am I supposed to be this pregnant coach? And sometimes, I mean, I'm just telling you like my journey of pregnancy, but you can use anything. I'll go back to that. But, so that was my time in my life. I was pregnant. I was like, you know what? I've seen so many people like have these life-changing events, and they either make their business or they break their business. And it's kind of just one or the other. So I was a coach for a year then, and I was like, you know what? I want to build a community of people who are on the same exact page with me, not even really thinking, of course, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, potentially these people can be my customers, they can be my potential coaches, but more along the lines of I just wanted to build a community kind of outside of coaching a little bit, because sometimes we get so into this coaching world and it's amazing and we love it, but we try to talk to other people and they're like, huh? You know, like, what are you talking about? What does that mean? So I kind of wanted to build like just a strong community of pregnant people at the time to just talk about having a fit and healthy pregnancy. So I opened up the group. It's called Fit Mamas, and I would go to I would use Instagram, but really I would use Instagram, but I would also use different apps like I don't know, you guys probably have babies, some of you probably have kids. There's an app called What to Expect. It's an app, and there's like forms in the app. And this is also, like, I don't want to just focus strictly on pregnancy because I know that's a different time in our life. You can go on like Couch to 5K or just different apps outside of like Instagram, because I know we all try to focus on that, but for me, Instagram is kind of overwhelming. So I had to find something else that would work for me. So I was diving into this app, and so I would go in to so I was due in October. They're all by due dates. So I would go in and connect with people in the app and then talk to them and just say, hey, why don't you add me on Facebook and we can build a group together. So it kind of started with that. It just started with October Moms. Somebody messaged me and said, hey, why don't you open this up to more moms? And I was like, oh my God, that's a genius idea. Like, whoa, like I can meet more people. So I then opened it up to all postpartum moms, and also, so that was a pregnancy. So then I said, okay, so what am I going to do with these people once they have their babies? Like, what am I going to do? How am I going to move them? So then I opened up a postpartum group, and we're up to about 1,600 people now. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's really, I enjoy it because there's absolutely zero, like this, there's like, I have like zero tolerance. And I always try to sugarcoat things, but I'm so serious about this group because it's just a community of people. There's absolutely no selling involved, and I take that very seriously. But here's the big thing. These people are my friends. They know I'm a coach. They know I'm posting all this stuff. And they also know that I'm doing all these things in this free accountability. I don't even want to call it accountability. It's just like a family. Like it's a community of women for free. Like I buddy them up with people for accountability. I talk about I just posted something like, what are your guys' pet peeves? Like I just do different things with them and I just make it a community. So you can do that with anything. And I just use pregnancy because that was my thing at the time. A couple ideas for free groups. Like I use the Couch to 5K because I know there's a community of people talking in there. You can even go in there and be like, I want to start a turkey trot group. Does anybody want to join me? Can just add me on Facebook. See, Facebook for me is easier than Instagram. I feel like more of a connection with them. So that is how really I've grown my business and how I've connected with people is through a group. That's what I've done. Is that cool?
So that's really cool. So when you say, so the type of group you're talking about is actually a group on Facebook that, like a local group, so to speak, on Facebook that people can actually join. So someone random could search and find your group and join if
no. Okay. Absolutely no. That's so they have to friend request me.
Okay.
Because I want them to be my friend and I want them to see what I'm doing. And then people are allowed to be, like people can add their friends in the group, but I still friend request them because I want to know what's going on. And there's zero tolerance of any type of selling. I even have a couple other Beachbody coaches in there, like from different teams, but they know, like I make a zero tolerance. If they post one thing about, and even if they get touchy with Shakeology recipes, I'm like, I know what you're doing. This is not the type of group for that. And I really don't want it to be a salesy group. Like I just don't want that in there. And I make it so like I don't post too much about that in there, but I make sure that I'm consistent on my page so these people are my friends and they know what I'm doing and I'm not salesy to them.
Got it. I love that idea, and it's something that I really want to switch. So like what I do is I'll run little short free groups. I don't have like a big, large group, but I really want to tone those down with the Beachbody posts because I feel like those free groups should feel like that to people in the groups, a free group. And so if I am talking about Beachbody stuff or Shakeology, it starts to feel not like a free group or like we are doing just that, sort of trying to lead them to our products. So in your group, you don't talk about Beachbody and you don't talk about Shakeology and products. You really just build relationships.
That's all I do. That's strictly what it is. And I'll do like a post a selfie today, and I'll have the people post selfie. And for each person, like I will connect on their selfie just so they know, like I really do care about them. I'm not phony. Like I'm not faking it. I care about them on a different level of just being a coach. And I feel like that just, they think of me as, like if they're going to think of Beachbody, I want them to think of me, but I want them to think of me in the back of their mind, not so much Beachbody coach. You know?
Yeah, I love that. And I feel like that's a super important thing that you just brought up was when you get these people in these free groups, comment on their post and like their post and be active and things like that, because you're right. If your purpose is to build relationships and friendships and show them the type of support that they could ultimately get from you should they move to something else, you should be supporting them in the free group too. So I like how you make that, something that's pretty important as a part of your free group too. So let me ask one question that just popped in my head real quick, because I do it a little different with my team, and we have some free groups that are ongoing. So I feel like those are similar to what you're talking about. But then there are times that we do a 5-day healthy eating group. And maybe we restart those groups as opposed to keeping them ongoing, or a free 5-day sleep school. I totally lost my train of thought there. But do you do those types of things? And if you do you run them in that one group, or do you do side free groups as well?
So with our team, with my team, I do, because I want to be able to show them. So I will do like a free crock pot group with them because I want them to do free groups. But in the group, I will run like an ab challenge once in a great while. But a lot of the times the girls, like I know a girl in there right now, she's doing the squat challenge. She's like, is anybody interested in the squat challenge? Okay, so she started up the little free squat challenge in there. And to me, I'm like, dang, all right, maybe I should approach, she seems like she may be able to coach. So it's like they feel comfortable doing it. But yes, sometimes I do little like 5-day things in the group. And it gets everybody involved, and it's just fun.
Okay, so
yeah.
The other things are somewhat separate that you do with your group, and then
yeah,
the idea, and that's really cool that you have like 1,600 people in there. Good for you. That's awesome.
They made T-shirts. They made their own T-shirts. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me?
Oh wow!
I couldn't believe it. Like they think that they truly like this is their like community, and it's mine too. Like I love it. I treat that group. Probably, which is sad to say, I probably am more focused in on that group than a paid challenge group. And it's weird because I'm getting like soul stuff from not so much, like, I don't know.
Huh, that's really neat. So I might at some point like to just pop in that group and peek.
Oh my gosh, I would love, yes, if you guys want to see it, please let me know and I'll add you in and you can see everything.
Awesome. Maybe you can private message me the name of the group, whatever, and we could, maybe just to get ideas, because like you said, I get that yours was pregnancy related. I love how you ventured out and went postpartum. But there are so many niche markets or things that you could start that would be similar, that you can get a big group of people that have that same interest. So I'm excited about that. So thanks for sharing that. That's really amazing. We'll go ahead and move on to the next topic, unless you had something else to share about free groups.
Nope, that's it.
And then we're going to open this up toward the end so people can ask questions, because obviously, I'm not the only one that'll have these.
Oh yeah.
So, do you want to talk about inviting next, and how you go about inviting to all types of groups? So free groups, coach groups, whatever it might be.
Okay, so let's talk about coach groups. We'll talk about that, which I feel like I still am kind of like, after 3 years, like I still have to find my group with that. I went through so many different things with feeling confident with that, and finally feel a little bit more confident than I used to. So when I'm inviting with a coach, I really, really try to go towards my challengers. And I know that's like simple Beachbody things, but I just feel like customers who know the product, customers who know the product, customers who know that they work. I just feel like it's so much better of a communication than asking somebody, hey, you want to coach? Like, I just feel like that's so, like, I always put myself in their shoes. Like, if somebody came at me and was like, hey, what do you think about Beachbody coaching? Huh? What? Are you trying to sell me a rap? Like, I wouldn't even, like, what are you doing? I wouldn't even know. So I always, every single person who buys a challenge pack or a program, I always just mention it, just, hey, have you ever thought about coaching? I used it at first for accountability. You could do that too. And if they say no, okay, I'll ask you in a couple months. But I just try. For me, inviting and private messaging, I've really had to come to the realization that I'm not very good with texting things. To be honest, like, I used to sound very structured, and that's not me. Like, I'm not a structured person like that. So I literally pretend that I'm sitting face to face, just like I'm talking with you, and that's exactly how I text people. Like, I will say off the wall things, but that's me. Like, that's what I say. I'll send a stupid, what do I call those GIF things, and people, like, they connect with you in that. They're like, okay, maybe she's not. Or I'll do a voice message. I do a lot of those. I just feel like I connect with people better. So find your way of connecting and how you feel confident with inviting, and use that, because then you'll get your groove and you'll feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah, I'm kind of similar to you in that way. A lot of times my coaches are like, do you have a script? I want a script. Can you show me a script? And I'm like, I'm really not very scripted, because I am just me. And Lord knows I'm unable to script. But I just feel like I do something similar to you where I talk to that person like I would if I were sitting here with them, and my team knows, dear Lord, Cindy can talk. But yeah, I do that same thing. So I'm really not a script person, so to speak. I am a conversation person, and that's just kind of how I work it too. So you typically, as in regards to coach invitations, you typically start more with people who have been customers and converting them to coaches because they're already a product, they can get the discount, those types of things. Now, what about different free groups? So you said like your team will do like healthy crock pot groups or healthy eating groups or different little free challenges. Since those people aren't necessarily Beachbody and we're not overly Beachbody in those groups, how do you invite to that, and who do you sort of seek out, or how does that work for you?
So I've really been using the live feature a lot, and I feel like I have gotten so much more from that live thing. Like, I just think that's such an amazing tool for people to connect with us and build that relationship to who you are. So the other day, for the free crockpot group I was like, hey guys, I'm gonna show you a quick little crockpot meal. And I was showing them, and I poured salt, and on accident, it was like open. So I poured salt all in the crock pot as I was trying to show this. Like, I was using it. It was like crazy. I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? But all these people were watching it because it kept getting bumped up because people were saying things. So I think the live way of inviting is the best way. Like, it's just so raw, and people just connect so much with that. So that's an example of what I did with the crock pot group. I was making a crock pot meal and completely messed it up, but it worked. So that's I've been using live a lot for free groups, free inviting.
That's really great. I'm glad I didn't watch that, because I would have probably thought I needed to add that much salt, because I'm not good in the kitchen, and I would have had
it's horrible.
So that's awesome. I have seen a few people who will make something up like right there on the spot, and it is really cool. And live is really popular on Facebook, and it's one way that everyone in your feed really sees what you're talking about, because half of our posts, like, who knows where they go and who's actually seeing them. So that's really cool. Thanks for sharing that little tip. And then I think the last thing we were going to talk about was just, did we hit on everything? Inviting, messaging. Did we miss anything? Was messaging? Did we talk about messaging? Someone help me. Did we? No? Okay. So messaging. I know we touched on it a little bit, because you talked about how you're just you and you like to act like you're sort of in a conversation. But let's just kind of play it out. And let's just say you have a What Is Coaching group coming up. What types of things do you do for that? And then we'll take it a step further and go to, okay, now you have a new fitness group starting on October 3rd. What types of things do you do for that? And then let's just throw a free group in there for the heck of it.
Okay, so if I have an intro to coaching event, I always make an event for that. So that's out there. I guess that's not really messaging, but that's out there. So if I feel like I want somebody who I've been talking to, feel like they got that coach vibe, maybe we'll go with somebody who hasn't bought from me. That's a little bit harder. I will first go into, hey, okay, this sounds so crazy, but I will ask a completely opposite question. I am never going to go into a conversation with, hey, this, and this. It's too much for me. It's not me. And I get these messages all the time of like, hey, want to join my party? Hey, want to do this? And that's not us, but I feel like we're getting lumped into that. So what I will do is I will basically stalk their profile and I will find something to message them on. Where did you get that shirt? Where is this? Where was that? Where did you buy that? Just something that I will connect with that person on. So we'll have that connection first. I'll have an example. I have a person who I'm tracking them down. I'm getting them. I will get them. But the other day she posted cauliflower rice. I've never seen it. So I messaged her. Where did you get this cauliflower rice you're posting about? Well, I got it at Trader Joe's. Oh, okay. Well, this, and this. And we'll have a whole conversation of rice. And then I'll say, hey, I'm doing, this is so off topic, but I'm doing this thing and I was just setting up the group. Can I add you to it? Just very, very casual. One of the best compliments I've ever gotten, which is so weird, is somebody messaged me a couple weeks ago and was like, hey, I am surrounded by all these coaches and these people and these things, and I never want to put these people down. But I have to tell you, you are the least annoying Beachbody coach I've ever talked to. And I was like, that is the best compliment I've ever heard. Oh my God, thank you. You know, like that, because I don't want to be lumped in. And I feel like on our team, we're not really lumped in like that already. We stand out already. But I just try to not be that kind of person who, hey, join my group. Hey, do this. You know, it's just, that's,
yeah. Yeah, totally. I always try to say it's people first.
Yes,
exactly. People first, everything else is so much easier, right? So if I'm putting that person first, and like you said, talking about something to do, because honestly, like I do care about people. And
exactly. I really do like people.
I would probably ask about this freaking cauliflower rice too, because I've never had it. But I mean, people first, and the other things come into play. And I know that sometimes it's hard to grasp or like wrap your mind around, because you feel like you've got to go for certain things. But I'm like, being a product of the product and putting people first and being a friend, which is why I think these free groups are so important, because there's so much relationship building that goes on, and you're able to learn so much about these people so that you know how to talk to them about other parts of their goals, or, you know, whatever that might be. So I think we kind of went over each little topic. Did we end up talking about how you invite to something that's free, or do you mostly use that big group that you have, or how does that kind of work with you?
That was I lose the live, like a lot for those type of things. That's the one thing. And I do a lot of groups. I didn't mention this on Facebook. I also am a part of other like mom groups. And if I see somebody talking about something, I won't just say, hey, join my group. I'll just say, hey, we have this little community. This person's in it as well, because I have other people in that group, just to show that I'm not just in here to get these people and take them. This person's with me and she loves it too. So
that's a really good, I like that. That's a good little avenue you have.
Exactly.
So awesome. Well, I loved hearing a little bit about your story, and I'm sure the team did too, because we all kind of face different things in our journey, right? And so that consistency and that persistence, you know, is so important and so key. And then building those relationships, and just, you know, like I said, people first, kind of like what you talked about. So I am going to let people unmute if they have questions. It can be any question on any topic that we've talked about. If you have a question about Brittany's journey, how she didn't lose her mind, not, you know, rank advancing, or, you know, anything that you guys have, anything about her weight loss journey even, or just the way that she has gone about messaging, inviting free groups, you guys are welcome to ask questions. You know, Jenny and I are here too, so if you have any questions for either one of us, or if you guys have a tip that you want to share, because I gotta tell you, Brittany, I'm gonna brag a minute. Like, our team is like amazing.
I need all the tips I can get.
So, right, you know, I feel like all coaches have value to add, right? So if you guys have some tips that you want to share as well, you know, please do, because we could all use all of those.
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna zip it. You guys can go.
I want to go first for a second, because I have a question. Brittany, I'm pretty sure it was you, but did you ever get Shauna Mokulier to buy a challenge pack from you?
I did. Yes, I do remember that. I did. Yes, I did. Okay, so I had this little phase where I was going after reality stars on Instagram. It was so crazy, but I was going after like really, like there's this one show called Pregnant and Dating. I'm still friends with these people online, like on Facebook, but I went after them. I couldn't get any of them, but she was posting on her Instagram about how she wanted to lose weight, and I was like, she's never gonna write me back. I was like, hey, do you have an email that we can talk about something? She's like, sure. And she gave me her email, and I still contact, like, we're not like friends, like I'm not hanging out with her, but I'll ask her like if she wants Shakeology, and she likes cafe latte. I wish it was like Kim Kardashian, but I have to. yeah, that happened. That was a long time ago. Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah.
This is always the part where it gets quiet. And I'm always like, how can people not have questions? Like, take advantage of the time you guys have. We're all here, and if it's a question that I can't answer, or Rachel can't answer, or Brittany can't, surely one of us, can answer whatever you guys have. So, anything you guys have, any other questions, or Rachel, Miss Queen of fun free groups, you might have some tips you could share with us.
Yeah.
She's like,
hi. No, I mean, obviously we've all been seeing that free groups lately, and I just posted this in my team page last week, I think. Like, free groups are really where it's at. So what I've decided to do with my team now is we always are going to run a healthy eating group, and usually we do that, the third week of the month. So the first week of the month, so it's going to be kind of like a free group every other week, I'm always going to do one type of themed type free group. So this October, we're going to do like a sweet treats and kind of do it like a Halloween themed. And then the November one, or it's going to be the first week in November, it's going to be a sugar detox kind of to go after Halloween. And then like a holiday survival one. So just different, trying to do an extra themed free group. But, I always will keep in mind, because I know in the past we've learned, or we've been taught, that you don't always want to offer free groups because you still want people to get into your paid groups. So I do want to be mindful of that, but I just want to see how this is going to play out. I've always used free groups to building relationships. So I've loved free groups from the start, but I am going to add a second monthly free group. So, I mean, I'll create templates and share them with whoever needs them once, we go through different groups. But yeah, that's it.
thanks, Rachel. Brittany, here's something that was really cool that happened at, I saw Brittany for one hot second at Summit. I tell you, it's so busy there. I was like, Brittany, hug, bye. So one of the things that we did at Summit was we had a team party. It was really cool. Jenny and I, pitched in, and we had this get together at our hotel. And at the very end, we spent time going around this circle, and it is by far my favorite moment of Summit, period. Just being together with our team. But one of the things that came from that was really cool. Almost everyone in the room started via free groups.
Really?
Or the 5-7 day, Shakeology groups. So it was very telling on how important those groups are. And sometimes as coaches, I think we kind of forget, because we're like, oh, one more free group, or
that was me. That was, yeah. Even now, I'm like, a crock pot group? Are you kidding me? But these people need it. They really, really do. And something that I just wanted to bring up really, really quick, that I've been really, so I used to kind of what was that? I kind of would see a person, and if they wanted to coach or they wanted to do something, I'm kind of, I don't know, I was beginning to, before all this happened, beginning to kind of write them off a little bit, they're not going to be a good coach. Okay, come on, you can join, but I don't know I don't know. I was kind of in that mindset. And my diamond that came, my second diamond, she was a insanity person who had the old DVD, who never even tried Shakeology, is a military. She's military, so she paid nothing. She was so scared, and I was like, come on, sure. But it really, really, really taught me to never write anybody off. Always give 100% to every single coach and every single challenger you have. You never know. That sounds good, but you just never know. You never know what's going to come out of those people. So if you don't think that they're going to surprise, this person surprised me more than I've ever been surprised. So that's one thing I really wanted to I forgot to talk about that. I really wanted to put that in there, is never write anybody off, because you never know.
Another thing that's interesting for me is I feel that same way, and never discount your discounters.
Never.
Make sure that you're still being a coach to them and helping them on their journey. I've had several discount coaches, and I mean, they were discounters for a year before they were like, hey, so I kind of might want to work this a little bit. So, always be the coach you would want coaching you. My team here is offering.
Oh, I love that. Okay. Yes. Yes, it's so true. And this actually, when she signed up, she's like, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to work the business out. I'm just going to be a discount coach. And then she'd go back and forth, and it was big back and forth. And I was like, oh God, what is going on here? But finally, something just clicked. It just clicked. And she's like, I see the opportunity in this business, and I want it. Okay, let's go for it.
Exactly.
So that's what happens. So sometimes it just clicks.
Yeah, so it's kind of the same with people in their weight loss journey, right? It has to be the right time for them.
Mm-hmm.
We may want to help someone along their journey. We may know they may benefit from our products, but until they're ready, they're not going to take action. And it's kind of the same way with coaches. So we have a couple comments I want to get to. Melissa loves cauli rice. Well, I guess, Melissa, I should have asked you about the frickin' cauli rice.
I said with you.
Yeah, Christy doesn't like to talk out loud, but she was talking about people in the water and step challenges. She was able to get someone last week. Good. Yeah, those free groups they're really fun. And it's a great way to build relationships and connect. So, Rachel has a discount coach who gets Success Club points. That's really cool as a discounter that they can even, without really working the business, so to speak, they have the potential to make a little money.
Exactly.
So, just want to make sure I didn't miss any questions. I'm just kind of scrolling up. It doesn't look like we did. So, all right. Anybody else? I see Trisha there. Melissa DeVito. How can you not have any questions?
She just got back from a trip, so she's probably like half asleep over there.
Well, we're glad you came and joined us tonight because, like I said, nice to hear from different people. But any questions that you guys have, if you don't like to talk, that's cool. You can put it over here in the chat box. I'm trying to man that.
Yeah.
And then, Jenny, I don't know. Oh, did I miss someone? Did I miss you?
Hi. I actually have a question. I'm debating because some of you that know me, I'm dealing a lot with special ed stuff, and I'm in a lot of special ed groups. So I was thinking about trying to do a free group just for them because they don't have a lot of time, and just take the time to exercise, and whether they want to share something inspirational or make it, 10 to 30 minutes, whether they can take a walk or something, and just kind of invite them on they can do a lot of free healthy eating groups, but just something a little more low key and just keep on active. So to build up.
That's a great idea.
Month.
That's amazing. That's a whole community. Yeah. That's amazing. That's a great idea. And once you build that trust and you build that community, you offer these things and they see this. That's amazing. That's a great idea.
I definitely think you should do that, Aubrey.
Yeah. And Aubrey, that's a community too that sometimes doesn't feel supported. So how amazing is it that you could start something
Right. Exactly.
you're getting support too. So I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, Aubrey, we're on the same page because that's sort of the same group that mine is specific part of special ed, but that I was in a free group for as well. And I think I know where you're coming from, where you're like, oh, is that a line that
Yeah. I wanted to be specifically open and free, like where she was saying there's no selling, there's no Shakeology posts.
That was my thing. I was like, it has to totally be an absolutely no selling because it is such a tricky group of people that we're already dealing with so much that you don't really want to. Yeah. I'm in the same boat as you.
And I've had people in this group who I have one girl I've never sold anything to, but she refers, so she doesn't want to coach, we've already talked about that, but she refers her whole family to me. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. So even if it's not that particular person or the person who's going through, I have people who in there who talk part of depression, all these things.
Yeah.
And there's stuff that gets pretty heavy, but it might not be that person who's ready, but they have somebody who they know is ready and they feel comfortable, they feel comfortable with you. So they're going to they just feel comfortable with you. It's like, they're like friends with you. They're their friend and you're just referring to a friend.
Yeah, I think it's easier just to connect because other than, being in the large group of, say, 2,000 people or let me see you once a week, we'll do a 5-day challenge and I'll talk to you next month. I have to have them be friends on Facebook, but it's here and there. So just specific and ongoing with no selling, what you brought up. I kind of like that with that idea. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes even those friendships that you gain from those groups are just as valuable, right? Because
Exactly.
they're people who you have things in common with and whatnot. So I feel like it's a win-win. I think it's a great idea.
Excellent. Thanks.
So before we let Brittany go, I really appreciate you taking the time, Brittany.
Thank you. I was like honored when you asked me. I was so excited. So this is my first like call, you guys. I've never
You did great.
had
I
you
can't.
guys for me.
Well, we're super glad that we had you. But real quick, just before we hang up, you know, is there anything that you guys have? I know that, you know, messaging can be hard, inviting, all of those things. So we want to make sure that we've met your needs tonight with anything that we may have missed or anything that we just didn't cover. So I want to make sure we, you know, you guys got from this call what you needed from it and we didn't miss anything because, you know, I'm scatterbrained.
Me too.
Wow, I did good. You too, Brittany.
I can't believe I'm shocked. Like I can do so, Cindy. I can do video calls, but I can't drive you ever.
Oh my gosh.
I can never drive.
Listen, we cannot hang up this Zoom before me telling
I
this.
can never drive. I'm of the world. I can run free groups all day long. I can't drive.
No. So whenever you, if you guys ever run into Brittany anywhere on the streets, clear out. If she ever offers to drive you anywhere, say no.
Really.
And it's not because she's been drinking, but we're driving home from Disney because we went to Disney one of the nights when we were at Jen's retreat, and we're like way back behind Jen and them. Me and Ashley Campos,
like miles and miles. Well, I didn't think miles.
and Britt, I mean, like so far, so guys, that we could barely see the taillights of Jen's car. And Ashley and I are just like, all right, cool, we're fine, just kind of chit-chatting. And Brittany's like, oh my gosh, you guys, are we about to hit them? I don't think
I was like so tired. Like it wasn't safe. I don't think it was a very safe thing. But I was like, I thought the car was like right there, and they were like, are you high? Like, what is wrong with you, girl? It was very, very traumatizing.
And are like, well, I wonder what she's seeing because there's not a car in sight right now. It was hilarious. But yeah, we had a really good time. Brittany's a super amazing person. I'll make sure that she shares that group information with me so that if you guys want to take a peek in there and see what's going on so that you can maybe take some of those ideas back to your own group. I think that's amazing, Brittany, that you're even offering to, you know.
Of course. Oh my gosh. Of course. It's a free group.
Yeah.
Free for all.
Yeah. You too, Brittany, if at some point, you know, you have any questions about different free groups that our team does, or like Rachel says, you know, she's great at making templates and coming up with these different ideas and things like that. You know, we are sharers, right? Because we do want everyone to be successful and stuff.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I would love, oh my God, thank you for offering. Yes.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Love to pick all your brains.
Yeah. And Jenny, I'm going to let you close the group up since you love talking so much.
Since what? I love talking.
Because you love
Thank you
talking.
all for joining. Thank you, Brittany.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
If you guys have any questions after this, if you're being shy or whatnot, you can, you know, shoot me a message or Cindy a message, and, you know, we'll get your questions answered. Thank you all for hopping on, and enjoy the rest of your nights.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Brittany.